Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Max anywhere.
We are hot to trot from the 63rd annual Autorama at the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston, Texas. It is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we have Rejean Desjardins joining us in the booth from Moncton, New Brunswick, Canada. It's a Canadian, eh? Yes, he's here, and we're going to talk to him. Also, we are going to have later our automotive news headlines. We've got more guests from today's Autorama. We're just having a ball.
You know, just because you pronounce his name right doesn't mean you're bilingual.
No, hardly.
You're not bilingual because you pronounce his name right.
I fake it really good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
He's bipolar.
Yeah. There's that. Reg, glad you're here. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did Larry Way talk you into this?
He sort of picked me up on the side as I was walking
He was
in there.
literally walking him over.
Did he? Did he really? So
I said good morning and come this way.
I like it. Are you a native New Brunswickan?
Yes, sir.
Are you?
Yep.
So you know what I'd really like to do is just let him talk so we can listen to his accent.
There you go.
No, I don't have an accent. You guys do.
Yo, there's that too. It works both ways, doesn't
There
it?
you go.
Are you a car guy?
Oh, you have to be in this place for 4 days and travel 2,500 miles.
Yeah.
Well, Larry
Wow.
was telling us the story about how you've kind of moved the car and stored it and moved it.
Well,
and
wait a
stored
minute.
it.
We don't even know that he
Yeah.
had a car
Yeah.
until now.
Yeah, don't be telling
Yeah,
his story.
He's got
Yeah.
a GT427. What in the world is a GT427? Is it something that we would know here in the United States, or is this a Canadian car?
The GT427, it's a number pretty well.
Yeah.
It's a 1965 Mustang.
A 65 Mustang with
Right.
a big block motor in it.
Just a little bit of history.
Yes.
Shelby, when they named the GT350, everybody thinks it's a 350 cubic inch.
Right.
It was a 302.
Yes.
At that time, it was named, I guess, the amount of steps that there was between the production and the test track. Just an odd number.
How funny. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't either.
So it is not 427. It's not necessarily a displacement.
What is the displacement in this car?
It is a 302.
It's a 302.
Yep,
Huh. Who was to know? And what year is it?
1965.
A 65. And
Fastback.
how long have you had this car?
I bought it in 2020.
Really?
Yes, sir.
And did you buy it in this condition, or did you do anything to it?
Well, this,
There's always
Besides
starts out,
putting
well,
more money into it.
good,
of course. This is a project that was started back in 2001. This guy here wanted to build a 65 Mustang, and he got along with his buddy, and once a week they'd gather in the garage and cut and weld and have a few drinks, and next week they'd do the same, and
Kept going.
then
Sounds like a plan.
the
And
word-
how did you get married to the car?
Well, the project kept on, and you know, we're a small town.
Because
so-
drinking became more important than the car.
Well,
There was some of that.
They had to finish it to go to the
maybe
AA
a little
meeting.
bit.
Yeah.
So you hear about that, like we're a small town, especially the car guys. And so anyway, it went on, and finally they brought this guy back in 2008, I believe, to do some interior work in it. And that guy's very talented. And he did all the interior, and then he moved on to the exterior and carbon fiber, and on he worked on it 5 years straight. And I got to be buddy with this guy in particular, Leon. And once he was done his part, his contribution to the project, one of the original guy got an accident with his eye, and everything stalled. The project stalled for about 4 years. So I got to know the owner, and long and the short, in 2020, I purchased the car. which was probably like 75-80% complete at that time, and brought it in my garage and finished it up and unveiled it in February in Detroit Autorama.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's a long process, but I got involved in it pretty well full time since 2020.
What a story. Love it. What did you do professionally? I assume, are you still working?
Oh, I'm retired.
You're
Been
retired,
retired for
yeah.
8-9 years now.
What was your profession when you were working?
I was commercial glass guy, automatic doors, and
Gotcha.
commercial construction.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so where did you get your passion for cars and get into something like this? Because this is an awesome looking car.
It comes in from the young age.
Yeah. Was your dad a car guy? You must have had friends that were car guys.
Well, I'm the youngest of a big family.
Yeah.
11.
Did you get hand-me-down cars?
Well, I remember all the in-laws, brother-in-laws, and whatever. They were coming over, and this one had bought this car, and that one would go out for a test drive, and it was just everybody was talking about it, and nobody was a real car guy. I think I'm the one that got to the extreme of everybody there.
Yeah, you grabbed the torch and ran with it.
Yeah. So, and then you get a couple of kids and start to build a business and whatsoever, so that part stays on the back burner.
Oh, yes.
But when you get a chance, and it seems like you nowadays in my city there where we live, it seems a lot of time the car finds you, you don't find the car, because that's how it goes there.
Yep.
But
There, actually, was it last year or year before last? The couple that were from, I think Nova Scotia, where they where they had the way that they found parts and pieces out there in the middle
Was
of
that
nowhere.
the Vicky? The gray Vicky?
No,
No.
it was not.
He was an internet guy.
Yeah, and they had a wonderful show, but because of where they were, parts were limited to get them. I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Did you have to deal with any of that?
well, this is so custom, so for like the original part, there's not a whole lot. Like, it's a lot of custom stuff.
Yes.
So if you can find it, great. If you can't, you got to make it yourself.
Yep.
But for when you're talking about some really original stuff, the internet has helped that
Yes.
a lot in the last 20 years or whatever.
So when you
besides
order
that.
off the internet, maybe a used part or something like that, and it gets there and you go, no, this is not going to cut it.
Yep.
And then the pain, you have to go through to send it back to get your money back and that sort of thing.
No, you put that on the side and
You just move on.
Like,
You don't
it's
worry
Too
about
not-
much
take the
effort to
loss.
send it back.
Oh yeah, especially when we're cross-border. Like within Canada, it's one thing, but cross-border with customs and duties, whatever, just put it aside and move on.
Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't do that for big ticket items. Big ticket items, I mean, I would imagine that you know the seller pretty well and you trust them that what they say is going to arrive in that condition.
And it's a lot easier too with the photos and whatsoever, like, to move all that information nowadays there. So,
Yeah.
But it's always buyers beware too.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Is this
applies.
car a driver or do you trailer it everywhere?
Oh, I think I got about 30, 40 miles on it, and that's been,
Trailered all over the world.
well, North America.
Well, North
yeah.
America.
And it's
man.
over here, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
just down there
Yeah.
by the entrance there. So
Did I hear the story that Larry tells that you show it here and then you trailer it somewhere and store it there for a while and then trailer it back over to here and trailer it there, and it's a complicated mess.
Well, I've gone to Detroit, then we went to Chicago, then Toronto, and back home. Like, I trailered it everywhere. And then we went also to Columbus. We went to Tennessee. We went.
And now here you are in Houston, Texas.
There you go.
Oh my God! How many? I assume that you have a pickup truck that you pull the trailer with.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hold that.
What kind of
myself for
what
sure.
kind of a truck do you have to all these miles?
Well, like this brand new F350. I just picked it up 2 weeks before I left home. So
There you go.
What other projects do you have?
at this point there, that's been this was all done in the garage there.
Yeah.
So I turned just about tightened up all the bolts on it and whatever.
Nothing
but,
smoldering in the background of, I want to do that.
Well, really, I had a 47 Dodge Power Wagon. Those
Yes.
Army truck there.
Yep.
And that's what I was going to do. And then this one came on board, so the other one got set aside. And
But you still have it.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So
It's
now,
just waiting for your skills.
that should be the next one.
Yeah,
to
exactly. I wanted to
put on
ask
the-
you, this is kind of
the
an
next project.
off the subject question, but how is it going across the border between Canada and the United States with a trailer and a car in it?
It hasn't been much of an issue.
No?
No, really. Like, and I've done before. I went to North Carolina. I've been here and there with different vehicles and whatsoever, and it hasn't been much of an issue.
Yes, as long as you have the paperwork, you're good.
Yes, yeah. Like they want to see you own the car, and they'll open it up and make sure the serial number's right and whatsoever. It's not a stolen item and those kinds of things. But I have somebody that prepared. Like right now, I've got a bond for it, so that if I don't return it back, which that's what the customs like to see there, but there's a bond on it that's good there for a year. So when you have your paperwork, you say like it hasn't been an issue.
That's good. So do your homework. Make sure that you got all the paperwork if you're going to go cross-border with something like that. I've never asked that question, and I was wondering how that happens, especially with all these things that you hear. They're the judges that you hear about. Things going on at the border these days, and especially now since COVID, and they closed the border for so long, and it just one thing after another, and I just had to ask that question.
That part's has been okay.
Yeah,
it's been okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like with this here too, I've got a few tools. Like I got a floor jack. I got this and that there too. So I've got a list that for the Canadian government, if I buy something here, well, when we go back in, like you've got to pay your taxes on it and whatsoever. So it's those things too that you got to be careful that when you cross border that you're not taxing something that you already had before or.
Right.
But, it's been fine.
So it's really the secret is having the paperwork.
Yep.
Yeah. And being open and honest with customs.
That's it.
And the border patrol and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that most people really think about that. But you would think about it if you're trailering a car across the border.
You had to do it often enough.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of car shows in Canada like this?
Oh yes. Yeah, but like this is the ISCA.
Yes.
So back home, we're one of the locations throughout the year for the ISCA.
Gotcha.
So one of the reason too what I'm here for ISCA for the final in Cincinnati that's coming up in January.
Yes.
Well, you got to have 4 points. So
you got to make certain shows to get the points.
Right. And the other thing too is we went for Riddler in Detroit in February, and one of the criteria over there to qualify for Riddler Contender, it can't be shown anywhere. It's not on the internet. The unveiling's got to be there. So you start pretty well in the middle of the year. So we did Detroit, got a point there. We did Chicago, another one there. Back home, we got another one. But by that time in the season, there's not too many ISCA shows left.
So you got to schedule them all.
Right.
And plan your route because you're going to hit them all with the car and the trailer.
And then the route 3 weeks ago, we were in Las Vegas at the SEMA show. So
who'd you show at what display at SEMA?
We were in Mother's Boot inside. Okay. So really prime real estate.
Yeah.
And
well, congratulations, because that alone is something.
Yeah.
To show in a big major booth like that.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it. Like went to SEMA, and then I brought the car over here, left. I hid it there for a couple of weeks, flew home, back here, and here we are today.
Yeah. It's a real commitment to show on the ISCA tour. You don't have to show at all of the shows, but you have to be selective at the shows that you show to be sure that you get a point for showing there, and you've got to follow the rules because you just can't show. For instance, like you said, couldn't have shown there before the Detroit show.
Right.
And, that's really something if you stop to think about it because like this show, the Magnificent Seven, same thing. They couldn't have shown at this particular venue before.
Right. Yep.
And so it's the same
Riddler
thing.
wasn't allowed to be out at all.
Period.
No pictures on the internet or anything.
No.
It's
a secret.
It's the first time out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the guy that we were talking about from Canada before. When we were talking to him, there was a lot of people were worried about somebody seeing it with their phone camera.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which that part was fairly easy because it was done in the garage. But when you do that in the shop whatsoever, you never know who walks through the door.
That's right.
Yeah, just casually snap a picture just
So
because that's
easy
what they
today.
do.
It's
And
so
to
easy.
ruin
So-
your opportunity for Riddler by
Right.
doing something like
Right.
that.
Yep.
Maybe not even knowing that they did that, but
That's it.
but
So-
if they understand what the show circuit's about,
yeah.
they would.
And nowadays, people are so happy to snap and
Oh,
put
yeah.
it out there to be the first one at it, or so. It's
Either that or just casually, hey, I went to the car show and I saw this, or I went to this guy's shop and he's got a really cool car. I snapped a picture of it. Here it is. And boom, it winds up. You didn't even know it was taken.
Yeah.
And it could ruin your chances of being able to compete for that award.
Yeah. So you got to plan sort of your.
Yes.
Have a little
Who
bit
has
of
access to the car too?
strategy along the way there to see what.
So what class is this car in?
Street machine there.
Street.
Yes.
Yep.
Street touring. Yep.
Street touring.
Yep.
There's so many classes in. I went on the ISCA site yesterday, as a matter of fact, looking to see what was available as far as the book is concerned, where the judges go in there and they classify these cars. Well, there's a lot of classifications. This car that we're showing here, the Mr. Norm car, it was eligible for 3 different classes. And what class do you put it in? Do you know what your competitors are in that class?
No.
And you want to be able to win your class. Do you think your car is good enough to go up to the other car that is in this particular class? Or do you put it in a class by itself under the
there's
3?
nobody else in
Because
there.
there's nobody else in. So there's all of these things that are going on behind the scenes that
The
most people don't know.
calculations.
Yeah.
For the final in Cincinnati, it's 5 different classes. Like they're all combined within 5 different.
Wow. So it gets
umbrellas.
really
You
tough.
gotta make them
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did they choose Cincinnati? Don't know.
Central.
I think it's been there. From what I've been told, it was probably
One of
in
the first
Chicago
shows.
for a while.
Yeah.
But it's central too, like a lot.
Yeah.
So really, that part I
Yeah.
don't have any
So,
information.
New Brunswick, in the overall scheme of things, is it in southeast Canada?
No, we're. I don't know if you call it south there, but we're border with the state of Maine.
So it'd be
East of Maine.
southeast
So he's
Canada.
east.
So when you were talking,
So you're closer to Nova Scotia,
it's the next province after. We're
right down the
30
road.
miles. 30 miles.
So do you guys make fun of Newfies?
No,
Does everybody make fun of Newfies?
not as much now, but it used to be
A thing.
a thing. I got a great friend there, and he's from Newfoundland, and they're the one to have around there. They're great people. So, oh yes, yeah, that's for sure.
That was a nice way to put it.
Yes. Reg, it's great to talk to you.
All right.
Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing
You're
your story
welcome. Thank
with
you.
the GT427. It's the Mustang that's here. It's white, and you can see it as you
it's-
walk in the
it's got
door
some
down there.
Awesome stuff done on that car.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right.
Thank
Good
you. It was
luck.
a pleasure. Déchanté.
Thank you.
Yes. Did I do okay?
Very good.
Very good. Thank you.
And you can go to French 102 after that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we appreciate that. All right. We're going to get to some headlines here. We haven't done that today, and I needed to take a little time because we do have headlines to get to on the In Real Time Car Talk Show. Stellantis is recalling more than 45,000 Jeep Wrangler plug-in hybrid SUVs globally after an internal investigation uncovered 8 vehicle fires.
What?
All 8 vehicles were parked and turned off when the fires occurred. While 6 of the vehicles were connected to EV chargers, the automaker said Wednesday the company was not aware of any related injuries or accidents. The recall covers certain 21 to 24 Jeep Wrangler 4xe plug-in hybrid SUVs. About 32,000 are affected here in the United States. The affected vehicles can still be driven, but Stellantis is advising customers to refrain from recharging them and to park away from structures and other vehicles until they are repaired. To fix the issue, dealers will check the software. If a certain error code appears, the battery pack will be replaced. It's complicated.
So there's more to the story?
Yeah, affected customers will be notified when they can schedule service. So far this year, Stellantis has issued 41 recalls affecting 2.5 million vehicles in the U.S., according to NHTSA data. Speaking of NHTSA, U.S. auto safety regulators have withdrawn a proposed rule that would have required all new cars and light trucks to be equipped with vehicle-to-vehicle communication.
Yep.
We've had this discussion on the show before.
Yep.
In a federal document slated to be published Monday, NHTSA said it was scrapping its 2017 proposal because of the emergence of new technologies such as cellular vehicle-to-everything, or CV2X. And a Federal Communications Commission decision in 2020 to split a key spectrum band that was long reserved for automakers, David.
Big Brother's watching.
V2X allows vehicles on the road to communicate wirelessly with other vehicles and infrastructure, such as traffic signals, but the technology has not yet been widely adopted by the automakers and other stakeholders in the United States.
That way they could just email Mars his speeding tickets.
That's right. Toyota, a U.S.-based auto financing unit, will pay $60 million in fines and restitution.
It's going to raise the price of your Tacoma.
To settle a U.S. regulator's charges it illegally prevented borrowers from canceling product bundles that increase their monthly car loan payments. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau on Monday said Toyota will pay a $12 million civil fine and $48 million to harmed consumers. The company did not admit or deny liability in agreeing to settle. Toyota Motor Credit, based in Plano, provides financing for people who buy vehicles at Toyota dealerships, with nearly 5 million customer accounts as of October 2022, according to CFPB. Thousands of consumers complained to Toyota that dealers lied about whether these products were mandatory or rushed the paperwork.
No,
so
dealers lied?
So they wouldn't realize how much they were paying.
Yep. So let's say there's 5.
Not all dealers, but there are some, as we have discussed on this program, that are a little
wormy,
under the table deals.
So there's 5 million customers and $48 million. Everybody gets $10.
Pretty much.
And the attorneys make $40 million.
Yeah, if they're lucky.
Yeah, we know that. Tesla threatened to sue Cybertruck buyers for $50,000 if they resold that Cybertruck within a year after they bought it, but it removed the clause last week after getting blowback over the unusual restriction. The reversal sparked even more speculation about Tesla's motivations, suggesting to some analysts that the electric vehicle maker headed by Elon Musk doesn't expect to produce large volumes of the Cybertruck, which it originally promised to release in 2021. Tesla plans to deliver the first Cybertruck on November 30th. Ahead of that event, it added a Cybertruck-specific section to the order agreement on its website, barring resale within a year of delivery. They don't want people buying them and then marking them up and selling them again.
Well, you got to be careful how you use your terminology, Don. An electric car and sparked something. Oh.
I didn't write it. That would be from
Automotive News.
I was trying to figure out what difference would it make to them if I paid them what they wanted for the truck and I turned around and sold it 6 months later because I didn't like it.
They want you to buy a new one.
No. It has nothing to do with that. They're trying to protect their interest in continuing to manufacture the truck.
And you see that in some things over time. The Ford GT had the same thing when they first came out.
Corvette
but those are special cars. I mean, we're talking about a truck here. And I guess to your point and to Jeff's point,
but the Cybertruck is going to be a special truck because they're only going to make it for a certain period of time, and Tesla wants to be sure that they can sell every one that they've got because that is a very specific buyer. Okay. And if you got deep pockets, you will pay whatever it takes to have one. And now Tesla is going to lose money because they're not going to sell you a new one because the waiting list is too long.
And allegedly, there's a redesign coming up.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know.
So that makes more sense.
Because I'm not a fan of the way it looks now.
But you buy that truck not because of what it does or is capable of doing. It's not going to tow or haul anything. It's going to be
donkey.
Nah, it won't haul donkey, I don't believe.
It's going to be a novelty is what it's going to be.
There you go.
Yeah, that's all.
So you can't buy it and run it through Barrett Jackson next.
Then that's what they're trying to prevent.
I need to cancel my order then. Would you hand me that business card right there? I got to get the spelling right.
Desjardins.
Like
not Desjardins from Neederville.
Canada, Canada.
No, that's right.
Dry.
Canada Dry. Ginger ale.
Oh, speaking of dry.
What's going on, buddy?
There you go. Thank you so much.
Man.
I'm afraid to even open that.
Brother? Good to see you.
I wanted to tell everybody that we thank you for joining us today. We'll have more of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming your way here in about 3 minutes right after this quick break from the George R. Brown Convention Center and the 63rd Annual Autorama.
Houston's finest cars are invited to another Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, and you're invited too. Show off your personal pride and joy, or just stop in to see the likes of Lucid, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, and more. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your one-stop shop for paint detailing, coatings, window tint, clear bras, and wheel repair. The Car Social is your opportunity to get a tour of this state-of-the-art facility located at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. It all takes place Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon. This is the perfect opportunity to connect with other car enthusiasts. From BMWs to Bentleys, Corvettes to McLarens, the Car Social is a different kind of show. Talk to the owners. See Gulf Coast Auto Shield's facility. You'll be amazed. Put it on your calendar now. The Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. We'll see you then.
Hey, Houston! America's greatest hot rod tradition is back! Thanksgiving weekend! The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama! At the George R. Brown Convention Center. 4 action-packed days of hot rods, customs, classics, trucks, and performance cars. The ultimate lowrider showcase. Sponsored by Shorty's Hydraulics. See Lone Star Throwdowns, Texas-sized truck spread. And don't miss the traditional rod and custom section. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, see wild, high-flying, freestyle motocross stunt shows. Shop the swap meet and women's world all weekend on the celebrity stage presented by Nick's Auto Repair and Classic Car Restoration. Friday, meet AEW Tag Team Superstars, the Lucha Bros. Saturday, it's Noel G. Hector from the Fast and Furious. Sunday, it's Lou Ferrigno, the original Incredible Hulk. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Autorama. This weekend at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Part of the Summer Racing Equipment Show Car Series. See Autorama.com for more info.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts.